screen next to her name.
They've explained her origin a million times.
And yet and still, here come the Negro.
But she's not black because she's U.S. I was like, her father is.
You ain't black. I'm like, she blacker than fucking Tiger Woods. You ain't never seen Tiger Woods out there with a pro-black nothing on except for a pair of pants. He didn't
become pro-black until he got his ass beat.
Well, so did OJ. I mean, you know. Look,
OJ was pro-black in the beginning. He left it.
The man
when he was the juice. When he was the juice,
because black people loved him, but he didn't
get his black.
OJ was pro-black after the trial.
When he was the juice, but after he left from being the juice, then it disappeared.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Aaron. So you saying
everybody else turned on you?
He was passing as black until he got out the league. Is that what you saying?
Yeah, he was. When he was the juice, he was.
Yeah, he had a black wife. He had black kids.
He had all that.
I mean, the NBC. That song gun wasn't black no more. And he was like, I ain't black. I'm OJ.
I'm broadcasting now.
The word is OJ living in Shreveport now. Matter of fact,
is he in Shreveport? I thought he was in Shreveport.
That's what.
Wait a minute, for real? Yeah, he lives in Shreveport.
He in the port. Out of all places in America, he
was in Florida. That's why I asked. He was out here.
His black ass got a house in Shreveport somewhere. He had to smoke cigars and shit.
Playing with knives.
In the moment, sharpening knives and smoking cigars.
Wow.
That video he made though.
His Twitter. I can't wait till football season starts.
That video he made when he came out and he was like, and he started going like this with the glove, and then he went like that. I was
you know what though, bro? Hey, OJ, I'm talking like 70 years old, bro. He ain't got nothing to lose no more. He ain't got to prove nothing to nobody.
Nah.
You couldn't take his pension from him, so he ain't completely broke. OJ don't give a shit. If I was him, I wouldn't give a shit either. Look, I was not guilty according to y'all.
Yeah.
Right?
And I only went to jail because I was stupid enough to try to steal my own shit back. Other than that, he was good. He was straight.
And I don't even.
He should have known better. He should have did what Mike did and left.
Oh, I said stupid.
He should have left the country. See what Mike did after he got his not guilty verdict.
Mike went straight to the airport.
Mike went from the courthouse to the airport. You ain't seen Mike ass again for a year and a half.
Hell no, like you ain't gonna get my ass again.
So
look at my penis on the identify the marks. Anyway, moving on.
So all right, so let's get right to it. So very first topic, of course. First of all, I want to send a congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks for they are the NBA champions.
I don't want to hear that.
Oh, damn.
I don't want to hear that.
Championship. Don't do that. That's championship.
Nah, he had it coming.
I have no idea why you don't want to hear it, but the thing I do want to touch about, because as you know, in our little sports group, I brought about a very, very, I think controversial time. It's not controversial to me because I really do believe this. I think right now, Giannis is the best player right now, is the best player in the NBA, which means by default, he is also better than Kevin Durant. Now, I don't know why that sparked so much controversy, but I stand by what I say. I said what I said, damn it. And Giannis is the man right now. He is the king of the court. To me, better all-around player on both sides. I would say, of course, KD is a better scorer, but I think Giannis can score and also play defense and make plays and also elevate the level of his teammates.
I'm sick of y'all.
So with that being said,
man.
That's what I want to say.
Because
I said what I said.
That sounds like a whole lot of bull job.
All right. So why the bull job? Please explain. Please.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Giannis is not better than KD. He is not a better player. Is he a better defender than KD? Yes, but I'm a better defender than KD. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
I'm a better defender than KD. Like Giannis is not. He's skill wise, he's not a better player than KD at all. He can't score like KD. He can't carry a team like KD.
What? Wait a minute.
He can't do it.
Wait a minute. I mean,
he scored 50 points because he scored 50 points because he had to, because he the only one on his team.
Why do I hear echo?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, all right. So, wait a minute. I'm trying to understand something. You saying he cannot carry a team like Kevin Durant? That what you just said. I just want to.
What team does Kevin carry?
I'm co-signing on Aaron right now. Though.
I mean,
what team does Kevin carry?
Right.
Kevin carried on KC.
But did they win? Did they win anything?
You missing the point. We ain't
no. If you're carrying the team, you're carrying them to the championship.
Winning is winning, Vanessa.
Winning a championship is a team concept, not a player concept.
Now, today it's a team concept.
It's always been a team concept.
No, it ain't always a team concept. It ain't always.
When have we not said that it wasn't a team concept?
That's coming from everybody with the LeBrons and nobody.
These asshole people on the internet. They controversial and they stupid. And I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna let you have it.
OKC wasn't winning shit when he was there. He left. They were still going to the playoffs, but they still weren't winning shit. Basically, when the trio left OKC is when OKC pretty much went downhill. To me, if you're carrying a team, you're doing something for them other than getting sent home.
Thank you.
Every series.
But y'all trying to equate going all the way to the championship.
I would say going and losing, getting into the second or third round. I'm just saying, what was OKC doing?
I mean, have you not seen the East Coast when you could be 10 games under 500 to get to the playoffs?
It's always been like that in the East.
No, it ain't always been like that. That ain't right now. No. Well, that's different. But it ain't ever. It
ain't always been like that.
The
last 10 years, has it been that way?
Yeah.
It's been that way the last 20 years in the East.
I'm not going back to childhood. I'm talking about last
when did Patrick Ewing retire?
Wait.
Still probably.
Wait. But let's get back on hand here because Aaron, you're on the spot. Because to me, I'm still trying to understand how you're saying that KD has carried the team. Look what Giannis just did. He had arguably one of the greatest finals runs ever. Scored 50 points last night to close them out.
Well, when you ain't playing against nobody, what you expect?
I mean,
why you see what Andre Ayton
the Suns made it to the finals.
Andre
Ayton went further than they did. Who are they playing?
Who?
Durant and them. Who are they playing? They're in the East too, aren't they?
Man, it was one person. Durant had one leg on
they
the
played
team.
Their king size beds at home. That's
Well, see, the problem with the Nets is they went and got 4 superstars and forgot to get a team.
Yeah, amen, brother.
And that's the same. And you know what? And
that's
what to Milwaukee, to the thing about Milwaukee. So Milwaukee has a complete team, and we were talking. I was actually talking about this with my cousin. Nobody wins a championship. No team has won a championship without a legit center. Mm-hmm. If you look at all the past championships, if you go back and look at all the past championships, yes, they all had.
Golden State,
Chicago.
They all had. Golden State had. They had Boogie. What are you saying?
Golden State, to me, are you saying that? I mean, to me, I can't even remember a play that the
it's
center
not about.
made
It's not about. Luke Longley made no plays in the 3P. But he. We
all knew Longley and Cartwright were there. We knew they were there.
All right, and it's the same. It's the same thing with Giannis. If you look back at, and even when LeBron won his championship, I forget the name of the center they had, but even when LeBron won his championship in Cleveland, they had a center. When he won his championship in Miami, they had a center, Udonis Haslem, and Udonis Haslem didn't do nothing in Miami but clog up the middle. That's all he did. Hey, Milwaukee won because they had a team.
They had Giannis.
They had a team. They had a point guard. They had a shooting guard. They had 2 power forwards. Giannis playing center. They had a center. They had a squad.
I agree they had a team, and I see your point. But again, going back to what you just said, to me right now, and if we're looking at the best player in the league, Not just scoring, because it's a whole lot more than just dribbling down the court and shooting a three or taking a layup. You also have to play the other half of basketball, which means that you're a defender, you're a rebounder. So to me, in my opinion, if you want to look at someone that can score, someone that can pull down the boards, someone that makes big plays, makes defensive big plays when the time comes, there's no better player right now that can do those things but Giannis. KD's a great scorer, don't get me wrong, but KD cannot perform those great defensive plays like Giannis.
That's because he's not asked to do it.
You don't have to.
That's not what he's asked to do.
Yeah, because how many years?
Giannis is doing what he is asked to do. Giannis has
you,
to play.
You think Giannis is asked to score 50 points or 45 points a game? I don't.
If he don't, they ain't winning.
Dude, Harold,
he did what he had to do.
Harold, here's the question though, Harold. You remember when Dwight Howard was in his prime?
Whoa.
Okay, then. They don't like Dwight Howard. Here's the thing.
Either that or they still mad at Richard Sherman.
That dude was giving them 30 and 20, 25 and 15. But what they did with Dwight Howard, though, they ran that summer gun in the ground till his back gave out. Because he had to score all the points because that Jameer Nelson wasn't worth a damn out there.
Right.
They should never put him back in the rotation just for the sake of in that championship run. That was a bad call by the coach. But anyway, Giannis out here, he banging in there. And honestly, if you look at the last 4 games leading up to the championship win, like I say, Ayton served no purpose. All he did was draw fouls and the dude ain't got no feet. Got knocked out.
It's not his fault. He's a rookie. It's not his fault.
He was overmatched.
Yeah.
And Booker apparently had stage fright or some shit. I don't know. He didn't really do nothing. We seen him get robbed in game 5, like you dribbling into a trap like an idiot. I'm just saying. And to Aaron's point, Milwaukee had a squad. They had a team.
Yeah, they had
Phoenix being Phoenix was overmatched, man.
Because think about it. Just think about Brook Lopez for a second.
This fool made with Legos.
Brook Lopez in here scored 25 points a game.
Yeah.
Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Brook Lopez sucks because nobody in the NBA just sucks.
But he had a hell of a series. He did.
Brook Lopez was scoring
25 to 10.
Yeah. We talk about Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
I feel like AI right now. We talk about Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
I think part of the blame, even though I like this brother, but the Phoenix Suns coaching, I really didn't understand the strategy. It's like he didn't even try to cover up or disguise his weaknesses.
Small ball.
I mean, they
CP3 is just
again.
Why was
Suns
Frank Kaminsky on the bench? Why was Frank Kaminsky why was Crowder out there on the court? What are we doing? What, Crowder like 6'6"?
Well,
what are we doing?
Crowder is like 6'8", but
okay, I give him 6'8". Still,
he's
what we doing?
I mean, he can, and Crowder, he's a good defender, but he was trying to shoot threes.
Come on, brother. I mean, hey, like I said, I'm gonna give the coaching some blame. The coaching gives a good bit of blame because I'm like, haven't we not learned that small ball crap?
It don't work.
D'Antoni used to run that small ball.
You can't win championships with small ball.
Hell no, you can score some points.
It ain't never worked. It ain't gonna never happen.
It's just like that Chip Kelly offense in Philadelphia. Stop it.
And then to AC's point, in 3 years, because I think Ghana's been in 8 years now. Mm-hmm. In 3 years, he gonna be just like Dwight Howard. At the pace he's going, in 3 years, maybe 4 years, he gonna be another Dwight Howard. He gonna be used up.
Yep, you already see him. He got knee trouble now.
Yeah.
Come on. You seen it. He survived this series, thank God.
He gonna be used up.
It's a grinder going forward.
I think, ultimately, I was looking at some of the back and forth in the group, and I think what a lot of people need to understand when we're talking about Giannis, as we're talking right now as it stands. I'm not going to dare say at this point, which is just too premature,
You to
to
go.
say that Giannis has had a better career than KD. I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, no one is saying that at all. I mean, that there's no question. But I will say this. As far as what needed to be done, and I said this before, what people tend to overlook, and I know we talk about stats, we're a sports podcast, so we're going to talk about that. But the one thing that we do need to shed light on is leadership. And to me, I think I've seen this, and y'all just made reference to it. We had cats that were stepping up. People we don't even know anything about, like Lopez. And to me, I do give Giannis credit for elevating the play of his teammates. Not everyone can do that.
Yeah, that's an MVP thing right there. I got to give it up.
Right.
Yeah, he did do that. But
Yeah, he made it happen.
KD, you say KD.
I
don't look at him as a leader. I don't.
Well, I mean,
everybody not a leader though.
Everybody's.
I'm gonna circle back to Dwight Howard for a second. When LA wanted Dwight to come there and be the face of the team when Kobe was there when he tore his Achilles, and they had a whole big ass billboard outside, Dwight stay or something like that right there. Yeah. Dwight got the hell on out of town because Dwight is not a leader, and it's no knock on him. He's just not that guy. So he wasn't gonna be the guy that you put in front for the team. It ain't him. It wasn't gonna be him. And everybody they keep trying to make people leaders. Everybody's not a leader. Some people are just good playing their role, even if you're a superstar. Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was the man in Toronto, but we all know when he went to Miami, he kind of took a back seat to LeBron and D Wade.
I mean, Dwayne Wade and LeBron. I mean, yeah.
But you know what? He did his job.
Right.
He got rings out the deal. You know
and people don't give Bosh enough credit for those championship teams because
I do. I do. I give him credit.
But
they again win the championship without him.
But again, you had LeBron playing a flex position.
Mm-hmm.
You had Chris Bosh. I know I'm the power forward. Point blank, period. I know I'm the power forward. You had Udonis Haslem. I know I'm the center. I need to get rebounds. I need to clog up the middle. Mario Chalmers. I know I'm the point guard. I need to run plays and make sure this happen, make sure this happen, make sure this go like that. At the end of the day, that's I'm not gonna play with this. At the end of the day, that's that's how you win. That's how you win championships. That's how you stay constant in winning. When people know their role and know exactly what it is they're supposed to do.
Preach on the Wednesday, brother. Say the word. It's Bible study, right?
It ain't, even at your regular job, even at your job or whatever it is y'all do or the rest of the world do. It does not go smoothly if somebody steps outside of their role. Am I right or wrong?
Very, very true. You're exactly right. And I will concede to the fact that Milwaukee had a great team, well put together. People knew their roles, and that's what you want. I mean, what we've gotten kind of used to is with these super teams going on skill and the fact of athleticism and having somewhat good chemistry, but their athleticism were able to compensate whenever they didn't have good chemistry to win ball games. And that's what you've seen primarily with LeBron somewhat with the Heat. And then again, also not somewhat, but with the Lakers. I think with Cleveland, they had pretty good teamwork going on. I will say that.
The greatest example of that is the 2011 Mavericks. That is the greatest example of a team coming together and simply knowing their role. You had one superstar, Dirk, and then you had Kidd, who at that point in time was just a good player. He wasn't no superstar. He was a good player. You had Jason Terry, who was a good player. The yellow bone dude.
About the Spurs too now.
And them too. them too, but it's hard not to win it's hard not to win with Tim
I
Duncan.
gotta say something, man. And Aaron, man, the mute button in case Harold jump in on, man. Just keep your finger ready. I gotta touch on this, and Vanessa, you can chime in on this because you said something earlier about it. But I gotta talk about this whole super team thing because it's the same constant thing going back and forth in these sports groups. Everybody, they love to hate on LeBron and his super team, and KD, this, that, and the other, blah, blah, blah. But I don't understand what people don't understand about business, the business of sports. Now, LeBron left Cleveland for the same reason. Let me put it like this here. Cleveland wouldn't do what Milwaukee did. Milwaukee built a team around Giannis. Like y'all said, because everybody keeps saying it's a homegrown team. Shout out to Giannis for a homegrown team. Milwaukee invested in their team. The ownership brought people there to get the job done. They recognized what they had in Giannis. We're going to put some pieces around him. We're going to get a good coach. We're going to make a run for it. Cleveland in LeBron's first stint either couldn't attract people to Cleveland because it's fucking Cleveland, or they didn't want to put the money out there. Either way it go, you couldn't get LeBron no help. LeBron said, you know what, I'm going to leave and go over somewhere else where they know how to make a championship team. That's one point. And they talk about KD. Oh, like Vanessa said earlier, KD, was he carrying the team or not, X, Y, and Z. OKC had how many MVPs eventually on their damn roster at that time? At least 3 MVPs.
3 including him. 3
you know what I'm saying? 3 MVPs. And at the end of the day, you couldn't get the team over the hump. They went to the championship one time, they lost.
Too many chefs in the kitchen?
Huh?
Too many chefs in the kitchen.
Not even.
I agree
You might
with
say that, Vanessa, but here's the thing. That's a legit point on the surface. But look at the coaching. Look at the damn GM.
Ooh, they had
you had all that talent.
They had
all
Scott
that
Skiles
talent.
then.
Yeah, they had Scott. All that talent, and you couldn't find a way for them boys to get over the hump.
He couldn't. Scott Stiles couldn't.
Maybe he just
that GM
around there
couldn't figure out how to make a team.
But that's my point. The people in charge couldn't figure out how to make a team.
Couldn't figure out how to put a team together.
Now, you might
remember Harden wasn't even starting, right?
Nah, he was coming off
Harden
the
wasn't even
bench.
starting.
But here's the thing though. They look, the C-suite people couldn't make a team in LKC. The C-suite people in Cleveland couldn't make a team. The boy left. LeBron, I got to give him his credit. This is what I say about it, man. Them boys took their own future into their own hand, him and Wade and Bosh. Instead of getting dealt when they're useless and old and beat up. They took their own futures in their own hand, went to Miami, made some runs, got some rings to show for it. It is what it is. History shows itself. Because Pat Riley knew how to build a championship team. He did it in L.A. He did it with Shaq and Wade. He knew what he was doing. You go to damn Golden State, you can say what you want to. Oh, well, KD went into a loaded team. Maybe so, but they had lost.
They did lose. Yeah.
They lose, you know what I'm saying? KD went out there, you know what?
Miami lost once to Dallas, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah.
They won 2 out of 4. But they at least won 2. KD went to Golden State, you know, man, hey, and here's the thing. KD didn't have to be the man in Golden State. He did, and to quote what I said earlier, he played his role. He was a sniper out there on the 3-point line. He wasn't the damn focal and the blame. Curry them had all that heat. Curry was the face of their team. KD got to do his job. They won their rings. So it's not about the whole super team thing.
And that's why I don't understand why KD left, though. Because now, who's the face of the team now?
You know why he left.
I think it was some locker room stuff that was going on.
It's we wasn't privy to.
Yeah.
What we heard,
I know there was some stuff that came out about Draymond supposedly.
Yeah.
And KD.
But what we heard, I'm sure it wasn't a half of
I'm sure of that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And you ain't just gonna disrespect me as a man.
He doesn't like being the face. Why go to a place where he's gonna be the face? Because the damn sure isn't Irving. I don't care what nobody says.
Well, I don't think he was trying to be the face going to Brooklyn. Yeah. I think it just so happened to end up that way because Kyrie stays hurt and Harden stays hurt. So
and KD doesn't want to. Who wants to carry that whole load by themselves?
No, I understand that. I'm just saying, it just to me, when he went, that was the question I remember me and Daddy saying was he's automatically about to become the face of that team because
I kind of thought KD went to Brooklyn because he wanted to show that, hey, you know, he could do something and have the circle surround him.
Yeah.
You know, rather than
Well-
being the worker and the role horse of what he was doing at Golden State.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean-
that could be it.
But he picked the wrong people to pass.
But I think when he got, I think when he got there and when he settled in, you know, he realized, like, I'm not that guy that's gonna be. That's just not me.
Yeah.
Again, it's
Better
no
off
knock against him. It's not saying that his skill is he don't have the skill to play ball. He's just not that guy.
He don't talk. That's why he had burner accounts when he was talking stuff about other people.
Right,
He's
right,
not that
right.
guy. And it's just like when LeBron was that first season in Miami. LeBron tried to be the villain, and he said, "I'm just going to embrace being the villain." That ain't you, cuz. You ain't no villain, bro. You ain't no gangster.
That,
And
right.
they got their ass handled in that first championship run. Like, you ain't, man, be who you are. KD ain't no, he is not a Russell Westbrook or in your face, throw these hands, look if you buck type cat. Unfortunately, KD went to Brooklyn with Kyrie Irving,
Who is also not
like his head.
that type of person.
He throw it off, and he's not that guy.
To me, they don't have a tree.
And then they brought in James Harden,
Who can't
who was
play with
also
defense.
not that
guy.
person.
Three dudes that ain't that dude.
I said when that team got put together, I was like, "There's really no leader here. It's just
Not a one.
bucking for
Not
the
a one.
credit."
And then they bring in Sir Dunk a lot, who is also
Not that.
not that
You got-
person.
You got 4 nobodies on one team,
You know what I'm saying?
and you got
You got
MVP
4 good. You got 4 great nobodies on one team,
Yeah.
but they. When
Yeah,
it
you got
comes to it,
cataracts. It looks like a super team, but when I saw it, I was like, "This is
Yeah.
not gonna work."
I was
I mean,
like-
they played good down the stretch, but when it all came down to it, it just seemed to implode to me.
everybody wasn't held at the same time.
yeah.
Even when
Everybody-
even there were a couple of games in the regular season, even when all of them were on the floor, it just seemed like they just couldn't.
we're still
Get it together.
I agree.
I mean, well, you can't expect nobody. I mean, we learned that with LeBron's Heat the first season. You can't just expect chemistry
Right.
off the top. You know what I'm saying? It don't work like this. Ain't street ball.
I don't know
Yeah.
if they're ever going to get the chemistry though.
I don't think they are. I think we're
I
gonna
don't
blow
think
people
they
At
up.
are.
least 3 of them have major league egos, whether they want to be leaders or not. 3 of them.
Irvin got to go though.
Besides
That's just
Texas.
me. Everybody keep talking about his handles, but he ain't that guy, man. I'm sorry.
So to switch course, so today, and this is breaking news today, and I'm very, very interested in even talking about this. So we've heard that 2 major programs, the University of Oklahoma and the University of Texas, has reached out to the SEC about joining their conference.
We're full. We don't watch it.
You know what, Nessa, I agree with you because here's my take. I think that if Texas and Oklahoma joins the SEC, I think it is the ultimate win for those 2 programs. It would be, I think, a tremendous loss for everyone else that's in the conference, including Alabama.
Why?
Here's the reason why. Because
So they
And
said about
I-
being
this
in
is-
Missouri.
so this is what I'm thinking,
Well,
right? Because,
Missouri. I
mean,
don't know. They Missouri.
No, Lisa, they said they did.
Missouri just had to get a check.
So
Texas reached out, Lisa. Texas reached out.
So here's the thing, right? This is why I say. So growing up in South Carolina, like I did, and football recruits and in recruiting, we always looked at Texas as its own country. You know, Texas can recruit inside of Texas and still keep up with the rest of the college programs, you know, pretty much across the nation. It is just a special breed of athlete here in Texas. So Texas does just fine going in its backyard to get recruits. Here's the thing. You don't find a lot of, you know, athletes in Florida, in Georgia, on the East Coast that says, hey, look, I have to get to Texas. You know, so right now, within the SEC, you know, Florida people, you got Florida, you got Florida State now, you got Central Florida, you got all those athletes there in Florida that are pretty much okay with going to a Georgia or staying there in Florida, possibly going to an Alabama. Maybe if you're going outside the conference, going to a Clemson, maybe go up north to a Michigan or something like that, you know, say, for example. Same thing if you look at LSU. Now, Louisiana, yeah, you are able to get some athletes out of Louisiana to go to Texas, but again, it all goes back to Texas is good staying within Texas. There's so many athletes here. I think by Texas going into the SEC and facing SEC teams week to week now, the recruits look at another option. It's not just the Alabama and the LSUs and the Georgia and the Floridas. Now, oh man, Texas. Now Texas is big. They have everything an athlete will want. They have facilities. They have boosters. Now athletes can get paid. It is a lot of old money here in Texas and Oklahoma.
Let me just say,
states cannot compete with.
If Texas and Oklahoma leaves the Big 12, the Big 12 goes under.
Oh yeah, they done.
The Big 12 goes under.
What you got? Oklahoma State.
And Oklahoma State is normally good. They normally have a pretty decent team, but Texas Tech is not always consistent. West Virginia is not always consistent. Iowa, who is Iowa? I don't even know.
I want to comment what Lisa just said. So look at that. No comment on that speculation.
We know what
that means. It's happening.
Yeah, they're all saying no comment right now.
That's exactly what that means.
Yeah. And A&M is getting real territorial about Texas possibly coming to SEC. Coming to the SEC.
In my opinion, I think Texas A&M is the only college that may have some of a positive windfall if Texas and Oklahoma, because then you got the rivalry back. And Texas A&M has a lot of money.
He wants them there. I don't know. He's not saying why, but it sounds like he doesn't want them there.
Well, you know what it is, though. I mean, because A&M escaped the 12 on purpose. When they
right.
Went to the SEC, you know what I'm saying? And like well, y'all hear y'all ass come now to following behind us. Like, no, bro, stay where y'all at, because we good. Or we getting this SEC money. We good.
I think I think the SEC commissioner probably don't want them there, because to Harold's point, that is another option. So you give a Florida kid who may be trying to go to Florida State, and maybe Florida State don't have enough scholarships. And this is a good athlete, but maybe Florida State don't have enough scholarships. Maybe LSU or Alabama don't have enough scholarships. But here comes Texas.
That's why
Oklahoma
would be playing on TV week to week, and you're seeing that.
What'd you say, Vanessa?
I was saying that's why Etienne ended up at Clemson, because
that is true.
Big schools he wanted, bigger schools or whatever he wanted to go to, either Alabama or stay home. They didn't have enough scholarships.
So now here comes Texas, who always gonna have enough scholarships. Here comes Oklahoma, who, because of oil money, here comes Texas, who gonna always have scholarships. Hey, that's a whole new ball game. I personally, I'm still an Oklahoma fan. I don't mind it each way it go, whether they stay in the Big 12 or go to the SEC. I'm okay with either move. It's a money grab.
I got a question. So if I'm an athlete, right? Let's just say I'm recruited. I'm a 5-star athlete, and this kind of goes to Nessa's point. Say I'm all out of scholarships. Now, in college, you're allowed to have, 80-something people dress out, or 90-something people dress for a game, something like that?
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say I'm a big-time recruit, and I'm all out of scholarships. But there's someone there that's willing to pay my way through school.
Mm-hmm.
Give me my money so that, hey, now guess what? My scholarship slot is now just opened. Or let's just say, hey, well, look, we can't give you a slot, but we know such and such around the corner who really likes you. They're going to give you money to attend school. And this goes back to my point. And I want to talk about T. Boone Pickens. T. Boone Pickens, the oil tycoon who pretty much funded Oklahoma State's football program almost all by himself.
He did.
Oklahoma State, as far as facilities, had nothing until T. Boone Pickens decided one day, hey, look, you know what? This is unacceptable. And now, if you ever seen their facilities,
it's
top
nice.
notch.
Yeah, it really is.
There are a lot of schools who cannot compete with a lot of that old time money that is here in this state. Alabama is a poor state. Alabama is a poor state. Louisiana is a poor state. Mississippi is a poor as hell state.
Yeah, boy.
They don't have the alumni like a Texas does, like a Oklahoma does, even A&M. They are. I'm telling you right now, this is a game changer for the SEC. If I'm Alabama, I'm saying hell nah. Do not let these two schools in.
Yeah.
And then let's not talk about even the fallout for all the other conferences.
Or like a Mississippi State.
Yeah.
Right.
Mississippi. They
I mean,
become
but
who?
the SEC is a money factory, though. We already know that. If you want to get
Well,
to the NFL, go to
well,
the SEC.
Well, I mean, but a lot of people make the NFL coming out of the Big 12 too. It's just
You know what
Texas
I mean?
and Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC I feel like somebody probably put a bug in their ear saying, "Hey, we want a more diverse of athletes. So we don't just want people from our backyard. We love the people from our backyard, but what if we can get the people from Alabama's backyard as well? What if we can get the people from LSU's backyard?"
Well, you gotta think
Bingo.
about this. But look at
Bingo.
this. On top of that, though, Aaron, on top of that, when you look at the SEC for what it's worth, which is one of the most valuable conferences, period.
And that's because of two teams. That's
Exactly.
three
But
teams. Let's be honest. That's
but
because of three teams.
You're right. But think about the fact. Look at this. Look at the money thing, though. Because the SEC gonna be on TV. We already know. Ain't none of that damn 11 o'clock shit like with Boise State them playing at night or whatever.
Right.
SEC gonna be on TV prime time. If you get Texas and Oklahoma over in the SEC, you got more games on TV that you can sponsor, more games and more players. If you are a big time brand,
But okay.
you got more. It's money. Then you got the Longhorn Network that'll come over some kind of way into that fold.
And you know the Sooners, they have their own network too.
Exactly.
So
more money.
You get them to come, their network to come over,
Mhm.
and
it's not even fair how much of a shift they would have in the
We're
balance.
talking about money for the individual schools, right? Because what I saw when A&M and Missouri came over is they couldn't compete.
well, Missouri will never be able to.
Yeah, I mean, Missouri.
A&M really could. I mean, they have their moments.
I mean,
and Michael Sam. I mean, that's about it.
Well, A&M actually, really and truthfully, A&M has competed because since they come over,
That's
they've won 8 games a year.
That's recently. The first couple of years they were there, they were like speed bumps. What are they on their third couple years, I think?
But that just shows how much the conference has helped them, though. I mean,
Exactly.
A&M. I mean, I'm not trying to say they're a powerhouse, but they're a contender. They're a program you should worry about whenever you face them.
Man.
They're not like
what they get second place in the West last year, second place or third place in the West,
and a Heisman Trophy winner.
Put Johnny Football in the Big 12. Tell me who was gonna watch that shit. You put Johnny Football in the SEC.
All the only people from Texas.
Yeah,
you put Johnny. Well, because he didn't nobody watch him when he was at Texas Tech.
No,
because nobody. I mean, he just wasn't. I ain't gonna say he stuck because he made the NFL. So I'm gonna say he wasn't that guy.
Well, they do come over whoever.
But the machine that is the SEC and their marketing department. Call it what you want to.
Yeah.
They know how to make good football and good TV. And then, like, think about the boy in Alabama. I'm gonna let you have it, Harold, right quick. Let me say this though.
Yeah.
Alabama's quarterback almost at $1 million worth of endorsements from what I think I read. So, and that was my point, Vanessa. I'm like, now you had these boys can get paid to play. Basically, they ain't gonna say it. And we on SEC, we on primetime TV. Come on,
every day.
Every day.
All SEC teams don't play prime time. So
you got Florida, Alabama, Auburn,
yep,
LSU,
Georgia. Those are your guaranteed primetime teams, right?
Yep.
So we're gonna say that those are your guaranteed primetime teams. If you go to the Big 12, your only 2 guaranteed primetime teams is Texas and Oklahoma.
That's it.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
You got.
Now
look,
you
you know,
Texas
CBS
Tech.
on Saturday.
Texas Tech may creep in there. You know, if Tech is having a good season, then they may creep in there. If Oklahoma State is having a good season, then they may creep in there. But you know, Texas Tech and Oklahoma State, they're inconsistent. So
Me personally, I think it'll probably be almost like I think Baylor will probably be a step ahead of Texas Tech. To be honest with you, I
You ain't
mean,
wrong. You're not wrong.
yeah, I think Baylor, and you know, more than likely, Oklahoma State. I think is probably ahead of Texas Tech at this point.
Look,
This is what, and the point I want to expand on is this. I think now we're going to start seeing super conferences if this happens.
Notre Dame gonna join somebody.
where Iowa would go where to what, the Pac-12? Would they go to the Pac-12? Because I mean, so you got like Kansas and Kansas State. Like in football, who is Kansas State?
I mean, but basketball, they're powerhouse.
Nobody give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm Kansas or Kansas, if this is happening and I'm Kansas or Kansas State, and I know in football I'm just not what that is, but in basketball I am, I'm probably going to try to go to the Big East.
You know, that's interesting because I was thinking about this too in basketball. So let's talk about, you know, I know we all think of football the minute that we're talking about this, but let's look at the implications for basketball. Because now,
well, let's just say this: the SEC is not what that is in basketball.
No question. But you're now including two very good programs in basketball in Texas and Oklahoma and in the SEC. I mean, if you look at
that's not consistent though. That's not consistent. But
I mean, it's a whole lot better than say, you know, than some of the other teams floating around the SEC.
That's
you know, like a Georgia or Auburn.
You got some schools though that are not, the basketball and the football are not in the same conference.
That's true too. But those are kind of like Notre Dame does that. Like I think now their basketball team is ACC.
Is Memphis Conference USA?
Yes, they are. Yeah, but I think
so like, you know, and then like, what does West Virginia do? Who is West Virginia?
What do they do? They're the Big 12, and so
that's what I'm saying. I mean, because see,
I'm gonna tell you right now,
if this happens,
West Virginia goes to the ACC.
They need to go back to West Virginia should probably just be independent because there's nobody no way around.
But they need the money. West Virginia has an independent school. I mean, come on, man.
You know what though? You know what's going to happen? Look,
didn't Pat White go to West Virginia? Pat White.
You brought up Pat White. You really said that dude name? But I tell y'all this though. Here's something. I'm just gonna pull this out the air. But if Texas and Oklahoma go to the SEC, watch the Big 12 try to go get Notre Dame or somebody. You need a name to come to town. You need a name. You need a big name. Otherwise, the Big 12 got to fold up.
They gonna fold it. They gonna fold anyway. Because they not gonna. If Notre Dame comes to the Big 12, so.
No.
I mean, LT may like it, but if Notre Dame comes to the Big 12, so.
No, Notre Dame is not gonna go to the Big 12.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
or maybe you can get Boise, but who is Boise?
Nobody want to see Boise.
I think you're going to have 5 super conferences eventually. You're going to have the SEC. You know, I think they may swallow up 2 more programs later on, and then the ACC. I think that's the big question mark. Is that because you still got a lot of decent schools, West Virginia. And here's the other thing. I forgot about this.
West Virginia is not decent.
Well,
stop telling that lie, Harold.
All right. The academic reputation also matters whenever a school is being selected for a conference.
Okay, well, they got that because I think I read where it said like 97% of West Virginia graduates every year.
So if you're looking at the academic reputation, From what I understand, Texas Tech is a good engineering school along with A&M. I can't see Texas Tech being a part of the ACC. I just don't see that. I think the only fallout I see is possibly West Virginia. I think what will also end up happening is that the Pac-12, I think they may try to go after some of these schools too. Because remember, Colorado was part of the Big 12, left. They became a part of the Pac-12. I think, what was it, Nebraska? Well, Nebraska ended up leaving and being a part of the Big 11 or whatever it is they call themselves. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of fallout that will happen. I really do think, though, that the SEC is going to be, they're going to end up killing themselves, basically, recruiting and winning it. I don't think you'll have any more undefeated squads coming out the SEC if that happens. That's just my opinion.
That's a gauntlet right there.
I don't know. Is Saban going to be dead?
That's another good point. What happens whenever Saban leaves? Because when Saban's gone, I don't see any other coach following the success that he had with Alabama. And whenever they're not winning, when you're not winning, they don't have that old time money in Alabama to pump money in that build these facilities. They're winning now, so you got a lot of people pumping money in. But I don't see that happening if Alabama starts to slide. So what happens next? Texas has money going in like water flowing through a stream. There's so many powerful alumni here in this state that just throws money at Texas just because they feel like it.
Everybody want to be associated with Texas.
Right.
No. They ain't, but well, here's the thing about it. If it's go time for Texas and Oklahoma, it's now why Saban's still the king, go get y'all money. Because when Saban goes, who's the other face of the SEC?
LSU, Georgia.
LSU?
Orgeron, look him, man. He won't be there.
I would tell you, I don't know how much longer Orgeron's even going to be the coach.
He ain't gonna be
but we're just saying. Who's the face? When you think about the SEC,
I like Coach over. There's too much shit going on in LSU.
Who's Georgia coach? Kirby Smart?
They don't.
His wonky-eyed ass. So you let Saban retire. You got wonky-eyed, Smart, and Deep Throat on the other side. These are your faces of your damn your conference.
Why you gotta be Deep Throat?
You look. That's just hey. I'm gonna put my foot in my mouth. That's just as bad as Otani being your selling ties.
Deep Throat.
Ain't gonna work, brother. Ain't gonna work. Go Tigers. That's all you finna get.
And then, I guess you still got Florida, but
yeah. Who's the coach?
Florida's up and down. You never know
who's the coach.
I don't know.
Me either. That's my point. I don't
know. Lie. Who's the coach?
Ever since what's his face?
Is it Deion? Is it Deion Sanders?
Might have will.
So speaking of which,
he was out of line.
No, he wasn't.
So let's talk about Coach Prime and just a little bit here, because I happen to agree with what Deion did. Guy was calling him hate even after he told the guy. Look, I understand the guy first called him Deion, but then Deion corrected him, and he chose to call him Deion again.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's just
all I saw was the Saban thing, and I'm like, okay, you can't compare yourself to Nick Saban.
Nah. You see the whole conversation.
Call him coach. He's a coach.
Call him coach. Coach Prime.
Coach Prime, Coach Sanders.
I want to chime in.
I read something today. Somebody did say that made a point is that he's made his name, both Deion and Prime, a moniker of respect. Like when you say Deion, you know who they're talking about. I'm just saying that. Like I said, I didn't see that there was a continue. I saw one video where he said, "Don't call me coach. You won't call Nick Saban coach." And I'm like, why would you? It's apples and oranges, and plus I hear people call Nick Saban Nick all the time. So
that ain't the point, though. Here's the thing about Deion. Deion stopped him in the interview, like, "Hey, first, let's back up."
The video I saw, they didn't show that.
Well, here's what I'm saying. The man say, "Let's back up." He say, "Man, don't call me Deion. You know what I'm saying? Look, here's my thing about it. If I tell you don't call me by my third name, because we ain't friends, and if I tell you how to address me, and you continue to address me how you want to, then you violate it. It's gonna be an issue. And I said something earlier today on somewhere. I was like, you know what? We can, when President Barack Obama was the president, the folks on TV would never call him President Obama. It was either Obama. Mm-hmm. Some folks would call him Barack on the little panel talks. But you would still call Bush, even though he was out of office, he was still President Bush. You call Trump President Trump all the time. But you would never call Obama President Obama. You just call him by last name, or some people had the nerve to say the first name, or they call him Barack Hussein. But you couldn't call him President Obama when he was in office. I look at that the same way with Dion. I told you don't call me by my third name. We not friends. We ain't shoot dice together.
Right.
Call me by my call me what I asked you to call me. And old boy deliberately called him Dion again.
Deliberately. They're trying to disrespect him. Deliberately did it.
What more can you ask for? I mean, the people made, like you brought up, Vanessa, the whole Saban thing or whatever. Yeah, people call Nick all the time. That's fine if Nick allows this shit. Nick been in the game a long time. But as a man, if I correct you off the top, right, and you still do what you do, then you don't have no respect for me. Mm-hmm. And it's really
like I said, the headline I saw this morning was misleading.
Well,
it didn't say that he had corrected him once. All they showed was the dude saying something, okay, Dion, and he was like, "Don't call me Dion, call me Coach. You don't call Coach Saban Nick."
You could tell the guy got kind of offended when Dion said it because he started laughing about it. Yeah, that was the thing. I was just like, all right, dude. I mean, come on.
I feel like
I just think Dion's name brings a lot of prestige with it. Now, maybe he wants to separate Prime from Coach Sanders or whatever, but a lot of kids are coming to play with you because you're Deion Sanders.
Yeah,
but is he telling them? But so in the locker room, is he saying
that's the way I thought about it before knowing that he had told the dude already once prior. I was just thinking when I saw it, I'm like, to me, really, they might have only hired you because you're Deion Sanders. I mean, that's just
his reputation is one thing, and that's fine. Right. But if I'm in a professional capacity, I guarantee you, none of them kids on this team call him Deion.
Well, no, the kids probably not.
But the same rules would apply.
I'm just saying, but I bet you it was a hard habit to break because I bet you any of them that knew who he was grew up calling him Prime, like everybody else does.
Yeah, probably so. But if they would have said Prime, if the man would have said Prime or Coach Prime, it would have been no issue.
Yeah,
he called that man Deion like we was out drinking the night before. The man say, "No, we gonna stop that right now." Don't call him on first name.
What? Even I went to a party at his house one time when he was still living in Dallas, and I met him, and I didn't even call him Deion. I called him Prime. I called him Prime Time.
It's like
I remember before Prime, it was Neon, and everyone was like, Neon. That's when people were calling him when he first came to Atlanta. And he was okay with it.
And people call him Prime on TV, Prime. But you know what? In my professional capacity, when I'm a head coach now,
right?
I'm doing my job. Address me to treat me how I asked you to treat me. And that dude didn't do that. He was out of line.
And then he been feeling sometimes if Coach Prime had came across that podium and smacked his ass, then it'd have been a whole nother. Oh well, hey man, you disrespected this man.
So I wanna address Ron Stradamus. Ron, I'll tell you what, man. If you can get people on this podcast right now that want to debate the Giannis situation, I will gladly be willing to go back over it again. So just let me know. So kind of switching. I want to talk about Osaka because as you've seen, there's some pictures that came out, Sports Illustrated, which not hating on the pictures whatsoever. I thought they were lovely, but I do have some questions.
They were, to me, they look forced. I'm not saying that. She probably wanted to take the pictures.
The girl looks generally constipated anytime I see her on, even when she's not talking.
Those pictures look forced. Like when she was.
Maybe that's just her expression. Is all I'm saying.
But I guess my thing is this: if you're worried about perception and you're worried about how people look at you and people asking questions and everything else, there's nothing more public, nothing more. I don't want to use the word voyeuristic, but there's nothing more public than putting yourself out there in a swimsuit calendar. So, I mean, to me, if you're willing to do that, if you're willing to take these pictures,
it's not the same thing. It's not.
Hold on,
I get it.
Let him hang himself. Let him hang himself.
Well, hold on. I guess what I'm saying is this. She can make her choice as far as what she wants to do. I got no qualms with that whatsoever. All I'm simply saying is that if you're going to be, it reminds me of, I forget the white chick, the tennis player that made so many millions of dollars in endorsements, but hardly ever won anything.
Sharapova.
Right, Sharapova. You're marketing yourself, fine. You're playing tennis, fine. But now all of a sudden people want to interview you, and now you don't want to talk. So my thing is this. In my opinion, I'm just trying to understand. I'm trying to help me to understand.
I understand because I got in trouble today at work for not wanting to talk. So,
you're not.
Trouble in the military because
I got a question for you, Harold.
Go ahead.
This is the first part of my question, though. You do understand that her taking them pictures for that magazine didn't require her to have to be interviewed by nobody, right? She just had to take pictures.
No, they talked to her.
I mean, what they do? Turn to the left, turn to the right.
It's
not an inquisitive.
Oh, jackass! She actually had comments in there because I read hers.
That's a Sports Illustrated.
Yeah, I read hers and I read Megan Thee Stallion, so they did. But I think it's not the same one as right after you come off a match and you might have lost or you might have fucked up somewhere, and now you're getting blasted 550,000 questions about some shit you don't feel like talking about right now.
I mean,
Sports Illustrated knew what they was doing with Megan Thee Stallion.
Look, at the end of the day, she sat down with an interview with somebody. The interview with somebody for the article. She took the pictures.
I don't understand why Megan Thee Stallion was on Sports Illustrated, but go ahead.
We understand why Megan Thee Stallion was on Sports Illustrated.
They had to sell the magazine.
I mean, she doesn't play any sports. So
they've had other people on there that don't play sports. There's models. Brooklyn Decker, isn't that her name was on there?
Yeah, she was on there.
Okay. Well,
I mean,
Beyonce was the first R&B singer that was on there.
Good point. All right, good point. All right, no harm, no foul. So I get it. I guess
we'll see what that Sports Illustrated the body issue looks like come next year.
That's ESPN.
All right, yeah, ESPN.
That'll be this fall.
You think Megan Thee Stallion will be on that one? I guess my main thing is this, and being interviewed and taking pictures, I guess are two different things. But I guess the perception is that, hey, look, I don't want to let you into a certain part of my life, a certain part of my being. But you take these swimsuit photos, and I mean, to me, that is rather intimate. It is rather intimate to do swimsuit photos. So I'm just trying to understand.
I thought hers were actually pretty conservative.
Yeah, those.
I'm just saying it's an intimate thing to do.
Megan was the one that was kind of busting out of everyone she had on. I didn't look at the trans chicks.
There was a trans. They did one with a trans chick.
The third girl was a trans. She's a trans chick. I can't remember her name. Lena something. Lena. But I didn't look at hers. I only looked at Naomi's and Meg's.
Well, it was just one. Just to ask the question, to put it out there, to help me understand. So I guess the next thing I do want to talk about is, we had yet another domestic thing going on with Richard Sherman. So
wait, after the first one?
After the first one?
No, not after the first one. We were talking about. Oh, is this the topic y'all discussed in my absence last week?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Once everything came out, we talked about it. That's why Aaron made the comment about my dogs not liking Richard Sherman, because we were talking about him and Achilles was in the background nutting up.
So, transitioning on from Osaka, so the Olympics today, one of the things that's been under concern with this new variant is the fact that they are, and I think some of the games start tonight. Some of the events start tonight, but there's still talks of canceling the whole Olympic Games due to this new Delta variant. And some people who are not athletes that are there now, that's involved with the Olympics, have been testing positive. And from my understanding, from what I read with Japan, they have one of the lowest vaccination rates, I think, in the world. So I guess the question is, should they continue on? Should they go ahead and try to do this? Or should they just say, hey, it's a wrap for the next 4 years?
I would say get rid of all the spectators.
Well, I thought they already did that. And then they gave them beds that they can't clap cheeks in.
What?
We on to the Olympics.
Yeah. So I didn't quite. I don't know why these beds, man. I think like the foundation is cardboard, literally. Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
I mean, that ain't gonna stop nothing.
Well, yeah, people will find a way. Trust me.
Look, and I don't know what I missed. Look, my little Japanese could have kicked me out. So I don't know what I missed here. But what I will say about the Olympics, I'm just gonna chime in. I don't know what the hell y'all talking about, but I saw last night. They say it's a chance at the last minute the Olympics can get canceled because of the damn the spread of the stuff right now, whatever. Excuse me. And I think they should cancel it. It's right now. It's already, the whole thing is on ice. Not literally, obviously, but it's like you ain't got no spectators. You got all, Japan is in the hole already with how much money they spend, which is, everybody with sense know that it's not economically a good idea to host the Olympics. The host country always lose money.
Yeah,
you lose money on that sport. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a good thing.
Well, I think you lose. I think you lose money. So if you know the Olympics is coming to your country, so the Olympics is coming to your country, and because I think you have 16 years before they give you a 16-year heads up. So if you know I think people lose money. I think the reason money is lost is because they wait to 2 years before the Olympics comes to their country to want to start building the stadium and doing things. And it's almost like you knew 16 years ago that the Olympics was coming to your country 16 years ago. Why you didn't start? Why you didn't start building the stadium then, or whatever it is you were going to build? Why you didn't start 16 years ago? Especially for the Summer Olympics. Summer Olympics is easy. You just need a track, a basketball court, and a baseball field, and a soccer field.
Yeah, and a swimming pool. That's right.
Yeah.
So I think if we start to drift off into this whole medical thing, forgive me, but I think here's the thing where we do not have it under control with this Delta variant thing, because number one, I would think that they're requiring everyone who are even venturing over to Japan to be vaccinated. But then what we're starting to learn is that even if you're vaccinated, it does not mean that you're not going to catch this thing. Nope. Now, anyone that knows anything about vaccinations, it does not stop you from catching the virus. What it does do is prepare your body to fight the virus in case you do catch it.
Minimizes the effects.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the main thing is that it just depends on how they're willing to treat it. Number one, are they going to treat it as though, hey, well, look, you're vaccinated. Yeah, you got it. But, hopefully you're able to be okay. Or number two, oh, you got it. Hey, look, you're going to die regardless of the fact that you're vaccinated, and we don't want to risk you spreading it to any other people. So if they take option two, they might as well just go ahead and fold up and try again next year.
Well, some of this is...
I would say if it's canceled again, that it should be suspended from their location.
Yeah, because that's well, but that's some of this is Japan's fault. Again, you knew 16 years ago that this was coming. You knew about COVID 2 years ago or a year and a half ago. When COVID started showing up, you knew then, and you still knew the Olympics was coming. And so, what did you do to prepare?
Here's my question: if they
Because
do
now,
call it
because if
off,
they, because now money is really lost if they call it off.
I was just about to say that. I mean, if they do call it off, and you built up all this stuff over there,
Like,
and no Olympics, oh my goodness!
I mean, because you
Well,
still got to build, and I forget the Summer Olympics have so many things in it. You still got to build a skateboard park. You still got to,
yeah,
you know, which I guess BMX can be included into that. You know,
Yeah.
you still got, what is it called? That off-road biking that they do when they be on the mountain bikes.
Mm.
You got
oh, yeah,
that.
yeah.
So
You
it's
got. I mean, it's so many different arenas that they built specifically for sports. And then once the Olympic goes away, they don't even use some of these
No.
venues
I
anymore.
know. I've seen
The
pictures.
Olympics is a hustle.
Olympic ghost towns. Is basically they just become
What you gonna do with a big
rundown.
ass pool? I mean, you look at China. China from the Olympics they had, the damn village. Look, the village trashed. I think what the pool is orange down there in Rio. They couldn't do nothing with it.
Yeah,
You build,
they said the pool was smelling like farts down there. It
yeah,
was
you build.
I think they lose money whether they have it or not, just because they have the Olympics. I would prefer them not to even be in the United States, but that's just me.
I think
well, the good thing about the United States is
we already got
we
this
already
stuff.
have stuff.
Yeah.
It's just not in one central. So I feel like this: if the Olympics, if we were going to do the Olympics again, if we were going to do it again, because it was in Atlanta the last time, right?
The last time it was here was in Atlanta.
LA
Yes.
96 was it?
Yeah, it was Atlanta. Yes.
So
I think LA gets it the next time it comes back here, either LA or Chicago. I think.
I think Chicago is bidding. I don't think it's been
I
awarded
wouldn't
anywhere
put
yet.
I wouldn't put an Olympics in that war zone, but that's just me.
Oh
nah,
man.
you can't put. I mean, I have to agree with that.
I mean, I don't think they're gonna all be in the south side of Chicago.
Yeah,
I mean, come
I
on.
have to
I'll
agree
be
with
all
that.
If you're a criminal enterprise and you're looking to up your game, we all going to Olympics. We all going to the Olympics. I'm just saying, that's my thought process.
Hey, Chicago for the criminals.
I just think if you're going to do the Olympics, so for whatever country you have the Olympics in, you just have one centralized location. So the next time the Olympics come to the United States, because Atlanta already has, it's in 2028.
It'll be LA.
See, now LA has, so LA would have to build, they would have to build some stuff. They wouldn't have to build much because of the terrain in California. So they wouldn't have to build much because a lot of their outdoor sports can be done in the terrain in California.
And they got our, I mean, between all the universities that they have in LA, and including the Staples Center, the new stadium they have out there, well, that huge thing.
For the Rams, right?
Right.
Rams,
I mean,
the Rams stadium.
it's so many things. They still got the Coliseum there. And so it's so many things. LA, I mean, right, it wouldn't be that difficult. Like if they came to Dallas, it wouldn't be that difficult for them to have it's so many things here. I mean, it's a pool right at TCU, which is right down the street from me. If they wanted to do diving competition, all that stuff, it's right around here. But I think, COVID, I just think that right now, depending on how you feel, whether or not you think the Delta variant is that serious or not, it just depends on what route Tokyo is going to say. Hey, we're going to endure this, or we're too fearful, we're not going to do it.
The problem is, and it's a double-edged sword, and it's never going to stop, is that it's always going to come down to the vaccinated infecting the unvaccinated, and that's not going to stop because everybody's not going to get that vaccination.
That is true.
Unless, I don't know, I can't speak on Tokyo's government that they can't make the people get them at some point because they look at shit differently than we do, but I just don't think this is ever going to, it's going to be never ending. At some point, people who don't want to be vaccinated are going to have to be considered collateral damage. That's how it works for the flu.
That's true.
That's just the reality of the situation. Everybody, I didn't get the flu vaccine. I rolled the dice every flu season. And when I did get it, I usually had it pretty bad. I mean, obviously it's not, it never killed me. And the only reason I got this vaccine was because I lost my dad. But again, you could still catch it. I read about it, another variant. I can't remember the name of it. It wasn't
the Lambda. It's the Lambda variant, and that's here in Texas.
Yeah, that's the one I read about. So I mean,
I don't even know about that one.
It does what viruses do. And I said this sometime last year to a couple of people that this is not going away. Mm-hmm. They haven't eradicated any virus that we've had. We've just got the shit under control. You can still get the bubonic plague. We just have it under control.
Yeah,
you can get that from armadillos and also leprosy. You can get get it from armadillos.
I'm just saying that we now have it to that it's not a death sentence. It's not like it would have been when it was first introduced. Whereas that's where we just have to get with this. I just don't think that we can keep shutting down events and closing things, and because
maybe they need to talk to Magic Johnson about getting rid of a virus.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up.
No, don't diss to anybody that got COVID. I'm not saying COVID isn't serious. I'm just saying Magic Johnson said that back in '91, and here it is 30 years later.
I mean, in all honesty, you're right. I mean, I know people like polio. I know a person with polio. So the main thing is a vaccine does not stop you from getting anything. I think right now we are in the era of fear and confusion.
Right.
And because of that, a lot of people are struggling. Nessa, where I think you made a great point, is that this is just something almost like diabetes. People with diabetes never get rid of diabetes. It's just something they learn to control. So it's just one of those things that we're just going to have to put our boots on and understand this is something that we're just going to have to control. And it's your choice whether you want to take a vaccine.
I was about to say, with diabetes, there's still people out there that just don't pay no damn attention to anything with type 2 that's completely
so their kidneys blow out.
And then the next thing you know, we're reading about them dead at 56.
They had to get to save them.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I was like, people are going to do what they want to do. I just don't think that we can continue to stop everything because, well, these people are vaccinated, but they might get sick. That's a choice they made.
Well,
that's the guys who roll.
Well, it's dumbass people.
There are a lot of stupid people. I'm just saying that if you decide not to get vaccinated, just like anybody in Tokyo or anybody here, and you take your ass to a mass event and get sick and possibly die, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy. You could have mitigated this. They weren't charging for it. Everybody was giving it away. This wasn't a poor versus rich thing. You could pretty much go any fucking where and get it. And you just chose not to. Whatever your beliefs are, I'm not knocking what anybody thinks other than the stupid conspiracy theories because I don't got time for it. But I just don't think we cannot go back into the mold of saying, we got to shut everything down again because it's not going to solve anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree.
The only people that can be forced to get this vaccine, and that's only once it's approved by the FDA, is the military. That's it.
And I think if I'm Tokyo, they need to take your advice, what you just said. I think you just can't keep shutting down everything. At this point, you invested millions, probably billions.
Oh, you got billions on the table. They got billions on the table, man.
Billion. I mean, you just cannot say, "Hey, well, the hell with it." I mean, come on. I'm a fan of the Olympics, but I'm not even thinking as a fan. I'm thinking as, "Hey, if I'm a citizen and my taxes went towards this, y'all better do something."
Somebody better get out there and run.
Somebody better run.
Government, somebody better get out there and run.
Hey, well, little Su Ching Ling better run out there or something, bro.
Somebody. Hey, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the leader of a Yakuza himself. Right? Somebody better run.
Shit's coming out my check for the rest of my life.
You know what, man? You know what? But I mean, and I read the other night where they said the shit's so expensive now that they not really even getting countries to bid on hosting future Olympics. People don't want no part of it.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I don't want to stop you guys, but I'm looking at the comments. So we do have some Giannis haters on here. So I want to address these people right now. And if you're able to join our link, Aaron, go ahead and let these people in. Because here's the thing, King of the Court right now doesn't mean Giannis is the best player. I'm sticking to this. Okay.
That's true.
It is, that statement is true. I'm not denying the statement, but what I am saying is that Giannis right now is the best player in the NBA. Giannis right now, I'm not talking about career. I'm talking about right now, 8:45 p.m. Central Standard Time, July 21st, in this year of our Lord of 2021. Giannis, I can't pronounce his last name, is the best player in the NBA right now. If you're seeing someone else all around, then give me facts. I don't want to hear insults because we're good at that. But give me facts. Give me facts.
I'm just gonna wait till we get on
two first names, whoever this is. So
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I have no idea who this is.
I don't
but
know
I mean,
who that is. But
to me,
if he hits me up on Facebook at Aaron Hall Senior, if he DMs me, I can bring him in.
Yes, please bring this guy in. Or any one of these Giannis haters that's out there. You know, everything you're saying means his team won. Here's the thing: we play the game to win. We play the game to win titles. We don't just show up and say, hey, look, you know what? I scored 40 points, but I ain't win nothing. That's the reason why we play the game. When we were kids and we signed up for Pee Wee League because we love the sport that we play, we didn't go in there saying, hey, look, Mom, I'm going to score 20 points and I could care less whether or not my team wins or not. I want to contribute to my team winning. And if I happen to be the star, then I'm the star. Giannis right now is that man that helped this team win, not a game, but the ultimate goal, which is a ring, a title.
He say that again, Harold. Say what you just said, because you just made his point. Giannis did what?
He was the man.
No, that ain't
man.
what you said. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he won a game to win the
That ain't what you said.
What do you mean? What did I say? I'm at work.
Okay, Joseph. Okay,
yeah, I know. So here's the thing, right? Again, what I'm saying is that yes, my team won, but if I'm the best player on my team, that helped my team to victory.
Giannis helped his team win the game.
Well, he can't win out by himself. It takes four other players.
So you basing a team. This is the whole Jordan LeBron thing. You're basing a team accomplishment off of who's the better player.
I'm not just saying that, but what I'm saying is this: if we're looking at, and we're not talking about one-on-one competition. I'm not going to make that argument because to me, whenever we're looking at one-on-one, there's no assist in one-on-one. There is no ability. There's no ability to elevate the game of your teammates because leadership is an important qualification as far as winning. Athletic skill, stats, all that matters. And whenever I'm talking about all around player, we're talking about scoring. We're talking about defense. Are you a leader in the locker room? Are you the valuable player on your team? Did you come through at your most needed moments in the clutch to win the game? Giannis has done all that this season. And also, he's had one of the most remarkable finals since Magic, since Bird, since Jordan. KD didn't even do what Giannis did this finals.
He didn't have to. He didn't have to do that. That's I'm not understanding you. KD is not asked to do the things that Giannis does.
Doesn't matter.
KD is not asked to do the things that Giannis is asked to do.
So let me ask you this. When you use the word ask, okay? Interesting you say that. Because at my job, I am judged by how many audits I'm able to do and whether or not I complete them. But I go above and beyond that because I want a nice bonus. Therefore, I take on the extra projects. I do the stuff that's not necessarily within my job qualifications. Because if that means me helping my team win, I'm going to go above and beyond whether they ask for it or not. So my main thing is this. I don't think Giannis was saying, "Hey, look, we need you to score 50 points a game." No, he's not. No, that's not why they drafted him.
They needed him to score 50 points, though.
He did what he needed to do in order to put his team over the top. He went above and beyond.
They needed him to do that. He was, hey, we see you. We see that Aiton, however you say his last name, is undermatched guarding you. Shine on him.
So here's what I would say. Okay, to that, when KD was called upon to go above and beyond when they needed him the most, and the only time that I can think about that was when he was at OKC. What happened?
Well, he did it in Golden State.
So who did Golden State beat in their two finals victories? One was Cleveland. Who else?
Hell, I don't know. Who was the other?
Who was Can we look that up?
Didn't they beat Miami?
I thought it was Miami.
Yeah, was it Miami?
They beat Miami.
Yeah, it was Miami.
They won 3 out of 4.
They won 2 out of 4, didn't they?
No, they won 3 out of 4.
Right.
They went 7 games with Miami.
No. Wait, hold on. They might have lost 2 out of 4. They might have lost 5. Well, hold on. They played Toronto, Cleveland, Miami, and I think one more.
Stop it, sweetheart.
So it's Cleveland for one.
Yeah, they played Cleveland twice.
And how many games? How many games did they go? Was it 5 games versus Cleveland?
I'm looking now, trying to find it.
Because Cleveland won, they went 7. I
think it was 5.
I think it was 5 against them the first time.
Okay, here we go. They lost to the Raptors once. That was in 2019.
That was the Claw.
Yeah.
And the Warriors defeated the Cavaliers. That was in 18.
Mm-hmm.
And how many games? Did they? Was it 5 games?
No, that's
the one. 5 games, right?
It was 4.
Oh, so they swept them. Okay.
Sweet.
So it was a sweet, easy series. Okay.
If I'm reading that right, it was a sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. They beat them.
And then before that, Richard Sherman again.
No, somebody came out of one of the rooms. Cut it out.
So okay, the sweep. All right. So and then looks like
I'm trying to see what the other one was.
So my thing is this: is that to me
it was Cleveland twice.
Cleveland in 7 once.
Yeah. Well, no, the first one in 2016, they beat them. They did it in 5.
Yeah, it was 4-1.
So even when so here's the thing. He just said even when KD won with the Warriors, I didn't go with the narrative that KD was the best player. So let me. Well,
it's not a.
Because
he wasn't. Because at that time,
right,
he wasn't. He wasn't the best player. LeBron was still the best player in the NBA then.
Right.
And so, like right now, to me, this is my personal opinion. I think KD is the best player in the NBA right now.
I would say that. I would have to say that. I mean, Giannis won 1 championship. They don't put him at the top of the mountain just yet. He got 1, but he's not the best guy, right? He's leaning into his prime.
Yeah,
KD get ready to go off the stage.
I mean, Jordan is probably the only exception because his 14 years in, he was always the best player. So he's probably the only exception.
Yeah, except when he's with the Wizards.
Nobody counts that. That's like when you went to Seattle. We don't talk about that. Right?
But I guess. But here's my thing. I'm not saying Giannis simply. Now he just happened to win a championship. But the main thing is I'm looking at his play that contributed to a championship. I mean, the main thing. If Giannis would have just scored 10 points every game and they still won a title, I wouldn't have said Giannis is the best. I'm looking at what he did. He just happened to win a championship. I'm not saying the title is why. It just happens that he won a title based on what he was able to do.
So why you didn't say this 3 months ago?
But the season's still going on. I'm not going to say until the end of the season.
Come on, because you can. 3 months ago, we knew KD was the best player in basketball.
I mean, that's like watching half a movie and be like, hey, look, well, the movie is great. We don't know. We have to. I mean,
3 months ago, we knew KD was the best player in basketball. He may not have, because you're not going to win an MVP every year. It doesn't mean you're still not the best player in basketball.
You have to look at the first game of the season to the end of the season, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, very well at that time.
Go to my inbox, Ron. Go to my inbox, Ron.
Very well.
Well, I guess I can go to his inbox.
Very well. At that time, we could say 3 months ago that KD is the best player in the league, but we still have months to go. You just can't go halfway and be like, hey, well, I mean, you got to look at the entire season.
Can we just say that Giannis has arrived? Can we say he's arrived?
No, I will agree with that. I
still say he's the best player in the league right now.
I won't give you that, but I say he's arrived. It's his time now. I mean, KD, he's on his way out the door. LeBron on his way out, no matter what they think.
Yeah, LeBron is on his way out. I agree.
LeBron on his way out. KD is not too far behind him. And Giannis is what, 25, 26 now? He's
26.
So he's right there in that window. This is his prime.
So here's the thing, and let me address this injury stings. This injury stings has nothing to do with the performance of Giannis and KD. It has nothing to do with that.
I can't.
With the argument.
I can't say that a team didn't win a championship due to injury, because the next player has to step up. It is what it is. I brought you to my team because I felt like you were good. So when the starter goes down, you got to step up.
The argument is not about which team is better. We're talking about players. So injuries really has no relevancy in this argument. It doesn't. It has nothing to do with it. Giannis happened to put up great numbers, and he happened to win the title by doing what he did. So to me, right now, again, I'll say this and I keep saying this, Giannis is the man. That's what I will say. I'm not comparing careers. I'm talking about right now. As of right now, Giannis is the man right now. Now, it could be next season. KD is the man. We don't know yet. But we're talking about as of right now.
Is he still going to be with Brooklyn?
No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Is Kawhi still gonna be in the Clippers?
I don't know what you think about him.
That's also a good question.
That was a bad idea. I know we ain't talking about them right now.
I'm sorry. You brought him up, so I was like,
I'm just saying that Clippers and Paul George shit is terrible. It was a terrible experiment. It ain't gonna pay no dividends. It's a wrap. It's time to move on. Brooklyn is the second worst idea. James Harden, Kyrie, nutbag, Irvin.
Nutbag.
Yeah, nutbag. I just went with that one. I don't know where it comes from. The Lord speaks through me. Here's the point. That's a bad combination over there in Brooklyn, man. KD made a bad decision. And it's all right to have regrets. That was a bad decision right there. You know what I'm saying? That team's not going to work. That's just me talking.
Again, look, it's okay to stick behind your guy. I mean, king of the court, I'm really trying to understand this whole definition thing or whatever. But the main thing is this. We're looking at, what player did what needed to be done, making the iconic plays on both ends of the court, coming through in the clutch. I mean, to me, if KD was doing what Giannis is doing right now and Giannis was at home, I would be saying KD is the best player right now.
But when has KD not put up numbers for his team? Now, he may not average double-digit rebounds, but that's not what he's asked to do. That's not his job on the court.
Points in a loss is still a loss. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, Jordan scored 63 in the loss.
I know. I'm just saying that you put ball in points, but if it don't end up in a win, why does it even count?
Thank you.
So we gonna sit here and say, even though Jordan scored 63 and lost to the Celtics, he still wasn't the best player in the league then?
Jordan, when he scored 63 points, was not the best player in the league then. Versus the
What year are we talking
I'm
about?
not hearing what Harold is talking about right now. I'm not.
I mean,
I'm
Jordan's
not-
prime.
I'm not hearing-
Jordan's prime started. He
I'm
started
not
the year he
I don't
took the
care
damn
when
Lakers out. That's
Jordan. Jordan has been the best player in the league, with the exception of the Wizards.
Hey, Harold, you muted, cuz. We
You
can't hear
muted,
nothing you saying.
yeah, you muted, homeboy. Jordan
that
is the
win.
best player in the league, with the exception of his rookie year. So after his rookie year up until 1998, Jordan has always been the best player in the league. There is no even Magic says it.
Man.
Bird says it. Everybody in the league says it.
No, they're saying
He
that
didn't have the
best player
team around
ever.
him, but he was the best player in the league from after his rookie season to
Now that I know
1998.
the year, 86, I would have to look it up, but I'd have to agree with Harold. I don't know that he was the best player that year.
I can't say. Jordan wasn't always the best player. I'm sorry, man.
Magic
I got to
Johnson.
move
It was
on.
hyper smoke.
Magic was the best.
I'm muting all y'all.
That's fine.
The whole team, everybody muted. I ain't hearing none of that. I'm not hearing none of that.
I'm speaking sign language.
Our host is on some drugs right now. So but look, Jordan was incredibly skilled during that time, but to say that he was the best player in the league
So
over the likes of
That was like
Isaiah
what year,
and
wasn't it?
Magic,
Magic Johnson was the
man.
best. Magic Johnson was the best man. Magic Johnson was when Magic Johnson was in his prime, Jordan was starting out. What?
Sorry, I was reading Lisa's thing.
But anyway, yeah, Magic Johnson. Hey, look, 84, 85, 86, whatever. Magic Johnson was the best player in the league.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank
Dr.
you.
J was old with a shag. It was a wrap. Everybody got that window,
Dr.
man.
J Shag was smooth too, boy.
But
He
it
had
wasn't better than
smooth
Afro
shag.
yet. He had that Afro, bro. He was badass.
Dr. J had a smooth shag back in
Yeah,
the
look,
day.
he had that damn new shag. But at the end of the day, man, like I say, Jordan elevated his game. I'm gonna say probably starting in 80, 88, 89. He started stepping up. All right, see,
I would say after they got past the Cavaliers and they were battling versus the Pistons, you can arguably say that. Then.
that was his run. That was his spurt. And it's the same thing with Giannis
Yeah.
right now. This is Giannis's run. Now, what he doing?
This is his only run.
Yeah,
They not coming back next year.
Ain't no repeat.
You don't think so?
They
Hell
not coming
no.
back next year.
Let me
Nah,
tell you
bro.
something. I disagree. I see something special in Giannis. I do.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm not saying.
Really ain't gonna be.
I'm not saying that his.
tired.
I'm not saying that his game is gonna. I'm not saying that his game is gonna fall off. I'm saying Toronto as a team, or not Toronto, Milwaukee as a team is not coming back next year.
Nah.
They're not coming back next year.
Somebody gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. It's hard for me to see anybody out the East. Philly is done. Boston, my Celtics are crap.
I'm a mute Joseph too.
You know what? I think Miami can reload.
Miami,
Make a run.
it all
Toronto.
depends.
I'm just saying, out of the teams that's in the East Coast that I think could retool in the short term and do something, Miami, Toronto. I got no hope in Philly. I don't like them.
No, my Celtics are crap.
The Celtics
The Hornets
in the drain. Blow the whole team up.
Maybe Atlanta. Maybe. And then
Well,
out the West,
if Atlanta get another score, I feel
Takes
like
the weight
they
off the
could-
trade.
Yeah, I feel like they.
I don't
they
think
could be-
Atlanta gonna pull the Cleveland. I don't think Atlanta gonna invest that money like they should, man.
then now's the opportune time for
And
them to do
Charlotte could probably come up if they get if Jordan says, "Hey, I need a center, and I'm gonna go get a center."
so. Yeah,
I
but
think Charlotte
Jordan
could come up.
Jordan is not a smart executive, so
Hold
I
on,
mean,
brother. Yes, he is, because he let somebody else run the team for the third time.
Yeah,
somebody
somebody
else
else
on the
run, and
team.
it's been better
Oh,
since we
it's
let somebody
been
else
better.
run it.
okay.
He ain't that guy.
That's
Jordan
fair
go play
point.
golf in Florida. He had enough skills to hire another GM or whatever to run that team. That's why they've been kind of half-ass successful. But Philly can go to hell and take Embiid with them. Cause
and out the West, I mean, if the Lakers get Westbrook, that'd be interesting. That would be interesting if they do.
That's what Westbrook needs.
That'll be a fight. That's what that's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think LeBron and Westbrook will be able to get along.
No,
Yeah,
Westbrook will punch him for real.
You know what though? But AD, look, street clothes though. He ain't that guy, bro. So as a Laker fan, you know, since the big game James era, this Laker version of the team right here, I can't get with, man. AD ain't that dude, bro. And LeBron getting long in the tooth.
It says they're looking to add either Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook.
Man, Chris Paul take his old ass on. His chance to play. His chance
the NBA fucked his chance to go to the Lakers. The NBA fucked that up.
Yeah, that's David Stern.
It's just
David Stern.
I was actually okay with that.
I bet you were. I mean, hey, that would have been a hell of a squad, though, boy. It went before he was out injured and tore up all the damn time.
That's what Magic wants, though.
Yeah, well, Magic had a TV show too once. That didn't work out.
No, I'm saying that he said that if he opts out of his contract, the first call he should be to LeBron.
They said I read something the other day where they said you might try to reunite CP and Carmelo in LA with LeBron. I think it's a bad idea. It's an old man dude.
They just
but I mean, if they do that, I mean, we all seen what happened when Karl Malone and all them went to the Lakers.
I was thinking, Aaron.
Well, so I guess the Lakers have given up on
what was it, Karl Malone and Gary Payton?
Gary Payton, Karl Malone.
The Lakers giving up on Dame Dollar. So I guess Damian is no longer in the talks.
Damian, dumbass, gonna stay in Portland, man.
Is his contract up?
No.
Well, he did ask for a trade.
He did ask for a trade. He did formally ask for a trade.
If I was Portland, I wouldn't trade his ass to the Lakers.
No, I wouldn't either. I'd trade him to an East Coast team, but
trade him to the Pacers and let him die out there in Indiana. They ain't gonna win nothing. That's on the record.
And then they got Rick Carlisle. They got Rick Carlisle back, so I know they ain't going.
Hell no, bad luck Carlisle out there, and Larry Bird still in the organization. Yeah,
they might as well be a permanent resident at Terry Hall. No diss to anybody on death row. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, hey, look. So it's been an interesting show. I'm dying to see what's the fallout going to be with the Olympics. I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with the Texas-Oklahoma thing. I guess we'll see. Football's around the corner, so
we ain't gonna talk about Maria Taylor. We ain't gonna talk about Maria Taylor.
Oh yeah, she did leave ESPN. I wanted to bring. I'm glad you said that because I had meant to bring. I had meant to bring that up after Osaka. She did leave ESPN.
Yeah,
I'm surprised by that though. That wasn't big news to me.
Nah, she leveraged that. She did an Aaron. What that girl name at on Fox NFL?
Aaron Andrews.
Yeah, I mean, not obviously not the same exit that Aaron took. We know how that went out. But you know what? I know the black folk got mad at me for saying what I said at some point, and that's fine. I don't care what the black folk think. I think Maria leveraged a situation that wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, it wasn't
that big of a deal.
Hey, any one of us at our job,
yep.
Like I said, don't never want to be the one that's the damn scapegoat for somebody else to get promoted.
Thank you.
I don't want to be that guy. Rachel Nichols didn't want to be her job to be used to make Maria's shit work. You know what I mean? Because ESPN dropped the ball. They tried to sit here and do some diversity stuff, half-assed. You move Maria up, and I'm not saying Maria wasn't qualified. I'm never questioning her resume. I could, but I'm not. But it was a diversity move on ESPN's part. Then you let all that stuff fall out. You let Rachel take the lumps of it when it was y'all fault. It was ESPN's fault.
Well,
and now Maria let it go
I'm
out
trying
of
to figure out though.
Her
So do you feel like she was worth? Do you feel like she was worth $2 million a year?
Who? Maria
Taylor. Because that's what she wanted.
I know she wasn't worth $5 million. Then when she said she wanted that $5 million, hell no.
So that's all I'm saying. And it's no diss to her, but
no, but you've been in
the game.
I think she was leaving regardless. Her contract was up.
I think what Maria did, in my opinion, was kind of like, hey, look, I'm gonna take this spot, and then I'm planning on leaving anyway, so y'all can kiss my ass kind of move. And so that's what I think this was about. And I don't blame her.
But you going to NBC though?
Is that where she going?
That's
not anybody two first names, because there's a lot of people that I see out there. I'll mute the TV.
I mean,
well, NBC is not bad though.
But hold on, though, Aaron. What's she gonna do? A Notre Dame game? They say she might be. If she go to NBC, they say she might be the host of
Drew's going to NBC, so you know he gonna wherever he ends up doing, she gonna take the back seat to that.
Yeah, so I'm like,
well, she may be on his team. They may be.
What you gonna do with Well, all right, if you gonna have a Thursday night broadcast, I'm not sure. I think Amazon got the rights to Thursday night though.
Yeah, Amazon.
So
Prime has them now.
So NBC gonna have Sunday Night Football and Notre Dame on Saturday. What other sports you guys from Maria to talk about?
That's true. I mean, the Olympics and
so who hosts the Notre Dame games on Saturdays?
Well, Notre Dame is no longer so they're part of ACC now as far as the football is concerned.
I thought it was a 1 year thing.
I thought that was a multi-year thing.
Well, NBC still got a multi-year contract to broadcast the games though. That's a contract between Notre Dame and NBC.
Maybe all right. So Notre Dame home games. I think you're correct. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So still, if you got Notre Dame on Saturday and Sunday Night Football, that's basically all the sports NBC got.
Well,
it says she's going to NBC right now for the Olympics. I don't know if she's staying there, but that's what
but you think about it though, that's still a smart move, AC, because look, even if she was to stay at ESPN, I mean, she would do college football stuff, you know, NBA final stuff, you know, and
true, Joseph.
I mean, pretty much that's going to be that. But what is the ceiling? Is that all she's going to keep doing? I mean, it's not like she's going to go to the anchor desk at ESPN and host Sports Center. I mean, it's not like
she had at least, man, she had the college football show on ESPN they did during the week.
Which I enjoy. I thought she was good on that.
She did. She was. They had the Saturday, the damn pregame for Saturday college football. She was on there. She was a correspondent. She was a correspondent for some of the games. So she had. Let's just say.
So hold on. So NBC show more than Notre Dame games. I know that's Channel 5 in Dallas. They show more than Notre Dame college games.
No, yeah. They may do. That's right. He's right. They'll do the Big Ten, like they do, like an Ohio State game. No, that's Fox.
No, it's Fox.
Fox does Big Ten, right?
Fox, CBS, and ESPN got the most games.
Yeah.
NBC's major contract is with Notre Dame, and then they got some other stuff.
Well,
they do some other games like that. Yeah. When they meet in the like they'll do
NBC is going to be producing Thursday Night Football for Prime.
Okay.
Oh. What she did already.
And then
that's why they brought Mike Tirico over though. They wanted him in the spot for
like
Thursday night.
I said, Drew Brees is going there too. The contract was signed probably year before last.
But Thursday Night Football sucks. I mean, man, no one. I mean,
there were some pretty decent games last year. It sucks because that's what it irritates me when people say that Thursday Night Football sucks because it just really depends on the teams. The schedule's made ahead of time.
Hey,
how the teams are doing.
I mean, you can't.
Last year was better.
I have not seen a good game yet.
Last year
you can't do anything about the Bengals and the Jets, you know, like you can't, I mean, if it just so happens to end up on a Thursday night, I understand. That's probably
they changed the format to the Thursday night games being like prime matchups instead of every single team having to play. It would probably be better. But since every team has to play, you have to see the shit teams with the good teams.
But I think
because I mean, it's the same thing. It's the same thing on Sunday.
Isn't it a short week though? Like for certain teams, like they play on Sunday and then they double back and play again on Thursday.
Yeah,
I think they're doing it before they bye. So I think the Thursday night game
goes
into their bye.
The next week. Okay,
it ends up being a short game for somebody because every time the Saints play, for some reason, it's a short week.
No. But if you play Thursday, then you're not playing that Sunday, but you didn't play the Sunday.
You played the Sunday before.
Right.
You play the Sunday, and then 3 days later, you playing again. So that weekend you play Thursday Night Football, you play it on Sunday.
And then you going into your bye. So the Sunday game, the Thursday game, then your bye week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, still, I have not seen not one.
I mean, again, we can't do nothing about
Falcons was good
we
Thursday.
can't do nothing about the Jets in Detroit.
Yeah. But last, I want to Vanessa's point. To Vanessa's point. Last season they actually had some better Thursday night matchups.
There were
The
some.
the 2 years before that, the Jets and the Bengals were that hell no. No sir.
Hey, no. In all honesty, even when the Cowboys played the Vikings on one Thursday night game, it
That
sucked.
was-
And
yeah,
the
that
Cowboys
was-
were
yeah.
good. And they sucked, man. That game sucked.
But I mean, but circling all the way back though, just me. I mean, I ain't counting nobody's pockets, man. But I mean, you know, if Maria would have made a jump to Fox or something, I'd have understood it. Let's just say,
Right, yeah. I get your
let's
point.
say Pam was going. Let's say Pam Oliver was going to retire or some shit. Then
Well,
Maria jumping to Fox would have made sense. Going to MVP, I
I'm
don't know.
tired of the hate that Pam Oliver receives, by the way. I just want to put that out there.
Pam should have combed her damn head, and we would have had no conversation. Yeah, I know.
I knew it. I knew it was coming.
Hey, I mean,
It was what it was, bro.
I ain't
Pam
gonna
Oliver, I still love
lie.
you.
I like Pam Oliver.
I love
as
Pam.
a-
Even though she don't
as
like
a
them,
as
off
a
the
commentary
Muppets, I
because
still
she
like
does
Pam.
good, but her wigs do
The
be
wigs were, man, how your wigs look like the hell? This ain't gonna happen here.
Yo,
wigs do
Right.
be.
every hairstyle look like it's got blown away in Chicago. Every one of them.
I'm like, you didn't even style your wigs.
I was like, all these celebrity hairdressers out here laying lace front weaves out, and she out here with a cockeyed wig.
Hey,
The rainstorm. I don't understand it.
shout out
Pam
to
was out there
Pam.
like Pam was out there like Joe Namath, man. Just like she just fell off the wagon and came to work. I'm here, y'all. Turn the damn camera on. Like, what did you do? And I've been a Pam fan. I love Pam.
I like her content. She's very damn good. It's
I
just
respect her. She know her game. But you can your black ass can't show up like that on TV. You one of the only black girls on the sideline. And you showed up with your wig twisted. Your part over your ear. Come on, man.
Yo, I got Lisa. You're right. She does look like Chewbacca, Chewie out of Star Wars. It says she's speaking English instead of making that noise.
But Cat couldn't even excuse her being thick no more for that bad wig. Like, hey, we looked at Pam, man, for years. Like, oh, come on, Pam.
All right, y'all have a good week, man. Y'all are wrong. Peace, everyone. See y'all next week. Thanks.